Hey Phobia fans, welcome back to Planet Phobia. Today we have another 5 phobias to look at, so I hope you're having a wonderful day and keeping those phobias at bay. Let's get into it. Emetophobia, fear of vomiting. Name origin, emein, Greek for vomiting. This phobia is known by different names or specific conditions such as sickness phobia, vomit phobia, fear of choking or gagging, and globus hystericus. Closely associated with the fear of germs, OCD, and social anxiety disorders. Women are more affected by this condition, with about 7% of the population being affected and about 3% for men. Some people get anxious around sick individuals, and the fear stems from seeing them get sick and vomit, while others fear this for themselves. They claim the fear of losing control is what primarily bothers them. Once vomiting begins, the body purges itself automatically and the sufferer has no control over this. Some fear the idea of being sick in a public place like school, having no control and being embarrassed. In childhood, the brain can attach negative feelings to the experience of vomiting. In adults, overeating or drinking too much can lead to extreme vomiting. This affects nervous or anxious people more, and it is the brain's response mechanism to stop overindulging. There is a correlation between people suffering from anxiety disorders and social phobias who will also develop a vomiting phobia. This phobia can be prevalent in pregnant women, as morning sickness is a common symptom. Phobics will shy away from certain situations such as birthday parties, sleepovers, long car rides where motion sickness might occur, places like amusement parks where the rides may induce vomiting. Some mothers are overprotective of their children, especially during the flu season. The idea of their child getting sick, then vomiting, drives them into a panic attack. Emetophobes tend to have a restrictive diet, avoid medicines that can cause nausea, and may overuse other medicines like antacids. Anorexia, or the idea of eating in general, can be a sign of this phobia, as the idea of vomiting after eating is just too much to bear. Triskaidekaphobia, fear of the number 13. Name origin, tris is Greek for 3, chi and deca are Greek for 10. We will do a brief overview of this phobia since in a previous video we delved into the fear of Friday the 13th. These two phobias are connected and very similar. Many religious overtones are associated with this phobia. 13 has many negative qualities when it pertains to Jesus, from the Last Supper to the crucifixion. Once again, the Knights Templars' persecution on Friday the 13th is an origin story for this fear. Some gamblers stay away from 13 while others find it lucky. Some cultures celebrate a birthday on the 13th while others shun it. In Brazil, being born on Friday the 13th is seen as harmful or dangerous. Most people know this fear is irrational, but it cannot be helped. Many airlines and hotels will skip over the number 13 and not use it as aisle seating or room numbers. Phobics will avoid the number 13 at all costs. Symptoms can be emotional, mental, or physical. Philophobia, fear of love. Name origin, philos, Greek for loving or beloved. This is the fear of love or falling in love. Phobics shy away from romantic encounters or emotional attachments. Like most phobias, this one is rooted in religion and culture. A common source of this phobia can be traced to arranged marriages, which is very common in some cultures. This phobia tends to affect women more than men, making it difficult to maintain healthy relationships, and often phobics find themselves living alone. Brought up in a strict religious setting can bring about this fear. The feelings you have may be chastised by the church, depending on cultural norms of marriage or deeming who is acceptable to marry. Eventually, these contradictions can turn the phobic off from seeking love altogether. Past bad relationships or watching your parents go through a divorce can also trigger philophobia. Also, if you have been part of a failed relationship in the past, the anxiety of forming new ones can just be too hard and form a mental block for phobics. This quote from Ovid may sum up philophobia. Love is a thing that is full of cares and fears. Phobophobia, fear of fear. Name origin, phobos, Greek for fear. Let's harken back to the words of one of America's greatest presidents, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, a man who suffered through polio while helping the nation heal from the Depression and guiding our nation through World War II. In his inaugural speech, he said, "The only thing we need to fear is fear itself." This quote holds true for these phobics. Individuals fear embarrassing themselves or having panic attacks related to specific circumstances or objects. This affects the brain negatively and will make the phobic fixate on their irrational fears. This phobia is interesting because a phobic may not have a specific phobia, but the idea of forming one becomes the fear itself. Past trauma can initiate the phobia. However, it is usually formed internally, not externally, meaning the phobic will become hyper-focused on an object or idea, driving them into a panic. This is a self-realized phobia. Instead of having an external force create trauma or fear, the phobic internalizes it so much it becomes real in their own minds. This is a tough phobia to have. The more you try not to think about fear, the more fear you create in your mind, hindering your own happiness and well-being. Androphobia, fear of men. Name origin, andros, Greek for man. Earlier, we looked at gynophobia, the fear of women. Today, it's all about the fellas. This phobia is an instinctual response to potential danger. It affects men and women, but usually seen in young women. Phobics will panic if left alone with a man, even if he is a friend or family member. Some can function day to day, but needing to work with or socialize with men can force phobics to their breaking point. This fear can come from a very rational place. If someone has been abused or treated badly by a man, it is normal to relive these bad experiences and not want them to happen again. From an early age, girls are taught to stay away from strange men or not to accept rides from men where you will be alone with them. This can shape their fear of men, and they can grow to distrust all men. Our brain creates certain responses to keep us safe. It is smart to question unknown places and people. Many men are capable of evil actions, but not all. However, with this phobia, meeting any man will make you cross the street and hurry home. Thanks for watching the video. Please subscribe. If you like this video, please watch the others in this series. Comment about your phobia down below and keep watching to see when your phobia makes an appearance.